Benjamin is our youngest son, and he completed our family. He was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is the most common and the most curable childhood cancer. So at the beginning, we found relief easily with the numbers because it's like 85–90% cure rate. Benji started needing transfusions right away because the leukemia cells attacked everything. And that's how we knew that he was even sick, is because he started getting significant abnormal bruising all over his body. His transfusions didn't last very long at the end of his life at all. I mean, sometimes the numbers reflected that they really hardly made a dent in things, especially platelets. But I can definitely say they made him more comfortable. Things changed so quickly, every day there, especially, before there were no other options. There was always another option. It was always quickly trying to find something else. And then when they told us that there were no other options, it was quickly trying to make him as comfortable as possible. He was just so involved in his care, and he knew that he had to have his port redressed every 7 days. And I told him it was coming up on the next day. But once we found out he was dying, we weren't going to put him through that. He hated part of it. So I told him, you don't have to get your port redressed tomorrow because you're not getting any treatment anymore. And he said, then what are we doing here? Why can't we go home? And at that point I was like, oh, anything he said we wanted to make happen.
When a patient is an oncology patient, though, and might have disease in their bone marrow, particularly leukemia, or if they have some other cancer that's metastasized to the bone marrow, it is difficult sometimes with hospice because not all of them allow transfusions. And where we live here, our hospices are divided up by county, and some of our hospices, at least 2 of them, will do transfusions at home. So when we have an inpatient who is at the end of life and they're willing to go home, they'd like to go home, they are happy to have hospice come in, and it's in one of those areas where we know we can get transfusions to the home, then it makes that decision very easy. But if it's a family that lives in one of those other counties where we can't get transfusions, then a lot of times they will make that difficult decision to trade off going home to staying and having the last days in the hospital.
When we first started the conversation about bringing him home, we were told that he could not have platelet transfusions at home. People moved heaven and earth to try to get him home. And maybe there just needs to be a precedent set or those pieces in place. The hurdles were moved very quickly, and it just wasn't quickly enough. It would have, honestly, had to have been the same day. It would have had to have been in place, for us to really be able to take him home.